LoreWarrior Armour. The Stygian Strike Tank. Overview. In the early 3050s, the Free Worlds League began experimenting with specialized long-range missile munitions, thus increasing battlefield flexibility for their LRM-heavy military forces. With an economy stretched to the limit by battlenet production, however, some in the LCCC became concerned about the rising cost of military readiness, particularly at the expense of its planetary militia forces throughout the League. After all, for the cost of an average battle mech, a frugal general could easily obtain and maintain a lance of armour. And it was with this in mind that the Captain General encouraged efforts by League tank manufacturers to bring the modern weapons technology of the Free Worlds League to the battlefield in ever more economical form. The Irian-based armoured vehicle manufacturer Brooks Incorporated responded with the Harasser II, an upgraded version of their tried-and-true fast missile boat. Despite a lukewarm reception by the LCCC, the Harasser II was approved for field testing with the 2nd Free Worlds Legionnaires, the Stygians. Force Commander Kareen Marek, impressed by the speed and offensive capabilities of this new hover tank, personally recommended the vehicle for widespread use throughout the Free Worlds League militia. In recognition for her assistance, Brooks Incorporated renames the production model of their new hover tank the Stygian. Alongside the main gauche, the Stygian once again demonstrates that Brooks Incorporated is one of the finest vehicle manufacturers in the inner sphere. Capabilities. Like most armoured hovercraft, the Stygian relies on speed for its survival. The Stygian, however, also devotes a full quarter of its mass to its primary weapon system, the Magna Longbow LRM-15. These 3 segregated full-ton ammunition bins with gunner-controlled load selection gear allow the Stygian crews to take advantage of the varied munitions developed by the League arms manufacturers. The effectiveness of these specialized munition combinations became a major selling point for the Stygian when Brooks Incorporated pitched their new vehicle to the LCCC and planetary militia commanders throughout the League. 2 forward-fixed diverse optics extended-range medium lasers complement the longbow, but unfortunately, all of that speed and firepower does come at a price, as the Stygian has only modest protection from enemy fire. Deployment. The 2nd Free Worlds League Legionnaires have seen the majority of the new Stygians produced since 3062. More are turning up in the ranks of other units, however, where they're commonly employed as recon units or light fire support. Variants. The Legionnaires who originally tested the Stygian recommended a variant with a smaller Magna 145 rated engine. Based on those recommendations, the so-called Stygian Mudskipper mounts 2.5 tons more of armour and carries an additional ammo bin for the longbow, giving the crew even greater flexibility and protection at only a slight loss in manoeuvrability. The Stygian. I actually really like this tank. It's a 40-tonner, its movement is hover, its power plant is a Magna 185 fusion engine. Its cruise speed is 97 kph and its max speed is 151. Its armour is the Maximilian 43. Armament is a single Magna Longbow LRM-15 launcher and 2 diverse optics extended range medium lasers, manufactured by Brooks Incorporated on Irian. Its communication system is the Maxil 600B and its targeting and tracking is the Maxil TA-70. Stat-wise, this is a vehicle that can cruise 9 and flank at 14 with the standard 10 heatsinks that's all required. It has 18 armour all round except for the turret that has 16 points of armour. Its LRM-15 is located in the turret at the top, with 24 rounds of ammunition all located in the body of the vehicle and the 2 forward-firing ER medium lasers. Visually, the thing looks like an aggressive, luxury hover car from some kind of weird dystopian Cyberpunk type setting that's got a missile launcher on the top, or a vehicle that you'd see in something like a Fifth Element briefly. It's not like immediately tank. It doesn't read as tank. It doesn't read as hover tank either. But it is brutally efficient. I actually used one of these not too long ago in a scenario where I specifically had it set up with 3 different ammunition types, with the idea of basically using one of them as the players were approaching to create a minefield area that they wouldn't be able to easily cross, another one that had swarm munitions for when the enemy did try to push in and be able to blanket an area with shots, and another one that just had standard LRM rounds. And that was really fun, just running that tank. And running a couple of these, or hell, even a lance, in support of something else. Brilliant idea. I do love the little background write-up idea of a vehicle that's equipped to basically go in with multiple uses on the field, either in both offensive and defensive operations. Really nice touch. As I said, visually it doesn't really read much as tanking. Yeah, it will die fairly quickly, but it is an LRM support vehicle. It's not meant to be getting up close and personal. Obviously, other fast-moving hover vehicles can easily catch up with it and make its day pretty unpleasant. The 2ER mediums aren't really going to hold off much infantry if they did manage to somehow get near it, or were able to ambush it if it was moving through and, the infantry were hidden. It's also not a vehicle that is particularly useful, I'd say, for urban combat. Sure, it could sit on the outer edges, but with indirect fire and stuff like that, it's not as accurate as it could be. Definitely something more for open field or just more open terrain, giving it a bit more flexibility in where it moves and the ability to obviously run away when it needs to, and give it better sight lines for targeting. But yeah, it's Stygian. I quite like it though. It's a fun little vehicle, and it's one of those few that actually does make mention of a lot of the options available to players of different ammunition types. Although it's a pity it doesn't actually talk about the different ammo types, but yeah, I think that's a different book. But yeah, that's the Stygian strike tank. So yeah, thanks for listening, everyone, as always, and I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one all. Bye.